up like down the street from Gordon College. My dad works at Gordon College. And I grew up pretty much agnostic in an agnostic household. And I started working at Gordon, and I started like interacting with the people there. And I stayed agnostic throughout the entire thing. I was like, just don't believe it. Like, I don't have the ability to believe it. You know, I can't believe in God. I can't believe in Jesus. Like, I've kind of heard the story. I don't know all the parts of it, but it's not for me. You know, like, I just want to be a good person.
My journey with God and Christianity has been a very long journey. I did not grow up in a Christian family. I had a lot of God around me, but more morals and values. But I always knew from a very young age that I was connected to something bigger than that. And baptism for me is me being able to express my love and my devotion to the Lord.
Well, the reason why I chose to be baptized is because, to be honest, it's because I want to show my allegiance, and I just want to, in a way, thank God for saving me, for taking me out of the situation that I was in. And like, I never really believed, to be honest. I didn't believe that was possible. And finally, I just like, I humbled myself and just realized that I'm not the one in control of anything. And the only thing that I can control is like sabotaging myself and leading myself to negative things. That's the only thing that I'm good at. And once I figured that out, there's only one that can save me and help me and guide me, and that one is Jesus.
I was going through kind of a quarter-life crisis, trying to find a job after college. Actually, before college had ended, I was just applying different places, and my good friend Adam Campbell, who went to Netcast for a little while before moving out to Scotland, said, hey, there's a job at Gordon in IT for like kind of what you want to do. I said, dude, that's so cool, I'm going to apply. You know, so I applied to that. Some time went by, and I was thinking, I knew they were going to ask during the interview, like, so like something like, tell us about your faith or something like that. And this time I was prepared to be totally honest and be like, listen, I'm agnostic, but I respect all of you. So I kind of, the interview got delayed another 2 weeks, and I had that answer prepared. And when it came time to answer that question, my answer had changed, but I hadn't thought about the answer anymore. It just happened to naturally change. And they did ask me that question, and my answer was just, I struggle with faith. And I was like, I think everybody struggles with faith, you know?
I was basically told that I couldn't be baptized, or that there were, you know, a million things that I had to do before I could get baptized. And so I actually, for years, probably 15 to 20 years, thought that I could never be baptized. I used to sit in church and not go and get my communion because I wasn't baptized, and that made me really disconnect and feel like I wasn't wanted there.
A little over 60 days ago, actually around 70 days ago, I finally just gave up. I threw in the towel on what I was doing, and I asked God to help me. I said, please. I've begged him before, and my prayer before used to be, I want to go home. I want to go home. I'm done. I want to go home. And that didn't mean I want to go to New Jersey. It meant I wanted to just die, to be honest. And I guess God finally saw that I was being genuine and that I gave up, and he lifted me up.
But just the experiences that I had, like I can remember being on my knees at 6 years old praying. You know, I mean, I remember, and this is all like, I never did it in front of anybody. It was always like this conversation that I was having, and I always knew that there were times in my life when I did some crazy things, and no joke, sometimes I'm like, I am lucky to be here. I'm lucky to be alive. I mean, like, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So, but I always knew in those moments, that's exactly where I turned to.
I'm a phone manager, so I do a lot of stuff with phones. We were switching over our analog phone system, so I ended up in these phone closets with Adam all day, and he knew my story beforehand. He knew everything, one of my best friends. And I just asked him question after question after question. And I asked him one time, I said, why out of all the things that you could choose, did you choose Christianity? Like, did you, because from my point of view, I was agnostic, and I was like searching for something, and I knew I was searching for something, but I was like, what is it that's like searching for me back, because I could feel it. And he said, well, there's two answers. There's the real answer and the cheat answer. And he's like, which one do you want? And I was like, give me both. I don't remember what the real answer was. I only remember his cheat answer, and it was something to the extent of like, I've been led to be a Christian. Like, I grew up in a Christian household, I just been led there. And when I turned around and looked at my life, I was like, that's the perfect answer for me. I don't know if it's like logically appropriate for everyone, but for me, it like clicked in my mind that God has been calling out to me.
2011, my father passed away while I was living in New Jersey. And during this time, I was working for a friend at a pizzeria, and basically I was allowing that place, because I basically ran it for him, I was allowing that place to be a meeting place for a lot of bad people. And I actually had to leave there because it was getting so dangerous. People pulling guns out during broad daylight. And I was staying with a friend, and this friend of mine was a drug dealer himself. And basically, this is where I was. I was working all week long and trading my hours for doing drugs. That's basically what it was. And it was December 19th, 2011. It was a Wednesday, and I paid myself from the register, and I went on this wild goose chase of a night. I ended up in an after-hours house in a really, really bad part of town. And basically at 4 in the morning the next day, I got to where I was staying, my friend's apartment, and it was actually 7 in the morning because I ended up at the gas station down the street for 3 hours playing scratch-offs until I literally my whole week's pay was gone except for like $80 I had left. And then it was 7:30, a friend of mine, everyone in my town knew me, everyone knew me. So a friend of mine seen me, and he says, wow, Lou, you look terrible. He goes, why don't you go home and get some rest? All right. So I went home. My friend and his wife, they were gone. They had gone for work. So I was in this room by myself, tossing and turning, and I was still high from that night. And I don't know what it is that something grabbed me that day. Something grabbed me. I know something grabbed me that day. And I got up, took a shower. It was December 19th. Took a shower. And my friend had a map in the room where I was staying. And I said, Lou, this is what I said to myself. I said, Lou, get up, take a shower. When you're done taking a shower, put some new clothes on, grab a backpack, and go up to that map up there and point somewhere you've never been and go there. So I remember in my head, I'm thinking, I don't want to go, I don't like the South very much, and for some reason I don't like very warm areas because for some reason it attracts like a different lifestyle. It's a little rougher where it's hot, at least in my experience. So I said, point north, Lou. And I closed my eyes and I pointed, and I ended up in Boston.
There was a point in my life when I turned around and I went, how did I get here without God? Like, I don't know how it was possible to get to A to B without God, because I felt so led. And even without believing in God, I was like, I feel like I've been led this way, in this direction. I need this. I need to be baptized, and I don't necessarily think I need it to be redeemed, because I think I've already been redeemed. I think I already have the Holy Spirit living in me now, I think it's more of like I need to make a public, a visible commitment of my already private commitment to God.
It was always something that I always felt was just inside of me. But honestly, the moment where I was able to come out and speak about it and be around people that are around it is when I came to Netcast. I literally lost faith that I could have a community of people around me that believe in God and religion and everything. I felt like there wasn't anything for me. And I remember the first time I came to Netcast, I mean, it was like, I think my face was black from mascara. I mean, I was like, I can remember thinking like, oh my God, this is what I've been talking to myself about for so long. And then opening the Bible, and it's like the pages are magic, and I read things and I'm like, this is just incredible. So to be able to be baptized and to start again and nurture all of those things that were just mysterious to me is the most amazing gift, and I know that He's giving that to me.
By me doing this baptism, it's putting pressure on me, not in a bad way, but just holding me accountable to the people that are here, that are there at that time, that are seeing me do that. That this isn't a game. This isn't like for show. And there's people that are like in my life, personal life, they're going to be there, and I want them to see that, so that if for any way or any reason that they see me slipping, or they see me like having a negative attitude, or just not acting the way that I want to act, the way that I want to be, from this moment, from moments before this forward, I want them to let me know, and I want them to tell me, because I asked God to take me away many times. I begged to die. And in the way I'm looking at this is almost as if, like, and on the drive here, this is so true. On the drive here, I start crying because I was thinking about that the dude that I used to be, that dude's dying. That dude's dead. And that day is the start of the new life that I want. And that dude is dead. That dude, he wasn't really bad. He wasn't a bad dude. He was just misguided. He was lost. And the only way that I've been found is because Jesus, He died. I know, like, I'm not very knowledgeable. Like, I know some stuff from the Bible because I remember stuff when I was a kid. But I can't quote verses and all that. And I actually, in a way, I'm happy that I can't, because it would just seem rehearsed. And to be honest, I just want to be like Captain Caveman as far as like that goes. All I know is Jesus, like in a caveman, Jesus, that's it, Jesus, that's the only way. And that day, I'm bringing that dude, I'm bringing that guy to his death. And when he goes in that water, what comes out of that water is the new me, the one that God wants me to be. And from that moment forward, my whole life will be to be an example of the cheat, the thief, the skunk that I once was, because I mean, like, everybody's done some stuff, but there's things that I've done in the past, like when I was in my addiction, when my father was still alive. I remember I would take money from him, and I don't know if it's TMI, but I mean, that's who I was. And there's countless stories that I could tell, like when I was in Atlantic City in 2002, and there was a little old lady who wanted me to get her bonus because she couldn't walk to get her bonus, and I was down and out and I had no money to get back home, and I took that bonus and I got myself back home. Like, that's who I was. That dude is going in that tank. Kaput. And on that note, Sunday, that dude's dead. That's it.